The plot of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is complex and difficult to figure out, which is why some fans like me have to read the book half a dozen times before they can understand all the ins and outs of the plot. But a scientist would read it differently. Instead of reading the book 6 times to understand all that's going on, a scientist would read it once and see that there is a system of concepts and relationships driving the plot, and that an understanding of these key drivers would lead to a simple understanding of the plot. The scientist would then model these relationships in order to solidify her understanding of the plot. So, for example, using this cool new software called Theory Garden, we can think like a scientist and put our theories on the screen. All we have to do is begin typing. The primary force in the plot is the development of Harry's knowledge about Voldemort. The more Harry understands about Voldemort, the more likely he is to succeed over him. In order to create a relationship between these two concepts, all I have to do is drag my mouse from one to the other. This relationship is positive because the more knowledge Harry gets, the more likely he is to succeed. Now, Harry gets his knowledge about Voldemort from Dumbledore. The more Dumbledore helps, the more Harry learns. However, the more likely Harry is to succeed, the less Dumbledore really needs to help. And of course, we can't forget about Voldemort's power and influence in the wizarding world. The more power and influence Voldemort has, the less likely Harry is to succeed. And in turn, the more help Harry is going to need from Dumbledore. Now, one of the most intriguing and crucial parts of the plot is finding and destroying Horcruxes. The more knowledge Harry gets about Voldemort, the more he will be able to find and destroy Horcruxes. The destruction of Horcruxes also has a negative effect on Voldemort's power and influence. Lastly, the Order of the Phoenix does not stand idly by. The more power and influence Voldemort has, the more the Order of the Phoenix gets involved. But the more the Order of the Phoenix gets involved, the less power and influence Voldemort can have. And there you have it. We have modeled the key driving forces in the great plot of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, just as a scientist might have done. Using Theory Garden, a fan can think like a scientist.